Hello everyone, have you already hit a wall in Proxmox where the CPU is fine, you still have disk space, but your memory is about to get maxed out? Well, this is the video for you. Today I will be upgrading my Proxmox server from 192 gigs of RAM to 384 gigs of RAM using 64 gigs of RAM, and then we'll be benchmarking it inside of Proxmox to see what actually changed. Spoiler alert, this upgrade isn't about raw speed, but it's about scalability. Here's the starting point. I am running a Supermicro X9DRI-F motherboard, dual socket DDR3 that is still an absolute workhorse. Before the upgrade, I had 12 sticks of 16 gigs DDR3 1600 MHz of ECC memory. That totals of 162 gigs of RAM. The upgrade is 6 sticks of 64 gigs of DDR3 ECC that runs at 1333 MHz. And yes, the frequency is lower. We are going from 1600 down to 1333, but the key here is capacity and density. In Proxmox, the first real bottleneck that you usually see is memory. You can have plenty of CPU left, but once RAM is full, you start seeing swap usage, slower VMs, random latencies, and in my case, I was not able to get into my Proxmox UI. My goal here is simple. Run more VMs, reduce or eliminate swap, give ZFS and Linux paging caching more room to breathe. Before touching the hardware, let's grab a baseline. So right now we're going to go ahead and type in free-h. This will let us know how much memory we have and how much swap we're using. And it tells us we have 54 gigs left. Right now we'll go ahead and type in the command to let us know how much memory I have, how many slots I have, the size of each RAM stick, and the speed for each RAM stick. Which is the code that I'm putting in right here. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the comments so you guys can type it in into your own Linux box. So right here, we know that we have 16 gigabytes of RAM. Each one's a DDR3 with 1333 mega transfers per second. So we should have around 12. Right now, we're going to go ahead and update the repository. Once we update the repository, we're going to go ahead and download and install the system bench. This will let us benchmark our memory. We are going to go ahead and paste this command. This command will give us the writing speeds. This will give us a very detailed report. Our writing speeds are 5,943 mega transfers per second. It also gives us latency, just in case you want to know that. Now we're going to go ahead and do the reading speeds for this. This is going to be the same command other than just changing from write to read. To make things easier, I'll go ahead and put the command inside the description. Now that we have these speeds, this will give us more or less on what we need for our benchmark. Now we're going to go ahead and type a different command that's somewhat similar. The only difference is we're going to go ahead and extract the transfers only, just so we could do this real quick and we don't have to look through it. So we're going to do this around 4 times. So we'll go ahead and get an average of those 4. We're going to go ahead and do it for the reading speeds, and we're going to do it for the writing speeds. So right now I'm doing the writing speeds. And like I said, this is the same command other than just changing write to read. So we're going to go ahead and type it multiple times. This will give us something fair to compare to after the upgrade. With all the VMs shut down and the nodes powered off, it's time to do the physical upgrade. So first here, we're going to go ahead and take out our rack, open it up. Once we take off the front case, the top case, on the top of the case, I do have a folder where I keep the instructions for the motherboard, so I can know where to put the memory sticks. Since we have 2 CPUs and 6 RAM sticks, we're going to go ahead and put it on A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, and F1. These are the slots that the manufacturer recommends putting the RAM sticks. As I remove the RAM sticks, I go ahead and replace it with the new ones one by one. Not all of them are going to get a one-to-one replacement because we're going from 12 to 6 sticks of RAM. On the top left, you're going to see some SSDs that I have there put on the side. I should have 3 SSDs in there. I did not want to use any of the slots in the front for these SSDs because these are just the boot drives to get into Proxmox and the storage for any of my VMs. So I went ahead and just put them on the side to save some space in the front. On the bottom right, I do have an NVIDIA RTX 2060. I split the VRAM into 2 sections. One section is for my Jellyfin and the other section is for my video converting. Back in Proxmox, the node now reports a full 384 gigs of RAM. Now we're going to go ahead and run free-h. This lets us know how much RAM we have left or available. It's 282 gigs, so that's perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and run the same command. We're going to see that we see the new RAM sticks, and you can see the mega transfers per second did get reduced to 1066, and now instead of 12 we have 6. Now we're going to jump into the same VM. Now let's go ahead and rerun the benchmarks. We're do the same thing, run the writes 4 times and run the reads 4 times. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and get a summary of the write benchmark. So now we get 3,853 megabits transfers per second. And now we're going to go ahead and run the read speeds. In the read speeds, we get 6,096 megabit transfers per second. Now we're going to go ahead and run the benchmarks again. First, we're going to start with 4 writing speed benchmarks. In the comments, I'll go ahead and put where I found the article to how to run the benchmarks for your memory. Now that we finished running the benchmarks, we are going to get the average of the reading speeds and writing speeds. The reading speeds, we're getting an average before 7,166 megabits transfers per second. And after, we get 6,538 megabits transfers per second. And for the write speeds, we get 6,020 down to 4,663 megabits transfers per second. Now, like I said, we are not trying to get speed, we're trying to get capacity. Now with this extra memory, I was able to add more RAM to some of my VMs. As you can see here, I'm already above what I had before, so this is perfect. So was this upgrade worth it? Absolutely. If you are running a VM heavy Homelab, yes, I traded some memory speed for capacity, but the ability to run more workloads without swapping is a massive win for me. But you can choose speed if that's your priority. That's the power of having a Homelab. If you are running Proxmox on older enterprise hardware, memory density upgrades like this one is the best return on investment improvements that you could make to your Proxmox server. If this helped you plan your Homelab upgrade, hit a like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Let me know how much memory you're running. And finally, what became your bottleneck? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Welcome to the lab. Welcome to Homelab Gamer.